If teaching feels heavy and the joy is fading, this book is a calm reset. The Courage to Teach by Parker J. Palmer says something simple and deep. Great teaching starts with the inner life of the teacher. It is not only about methods and tools, it is about who we are in the room, our presence, our honesty, our ability to hold space for truth and trust. When we teach from who we are, students feel safe, seen, and ready to learn. Many teachers think they must perform perfectly. Fast lessons, perfect slides, total control. Palmer offers a different picture. He invites us to move from performance to presence, to put the subject at the center, and to build classrooms that are both safe and brave. He also shows how fear, burnout, and misalignment drain us, and how small, gentle practices can bring back life to the work. Chapter 1 begins with the core idea. We teach who we are. When we walk into class anxious and guarded, the room tightens. Students speak less and take fewer risks. When we arrive curious and open, the room breathes. Students try more, ask more, and stay with hard ideas longer. Courage here does not mean having no fear. It means working with fear instead of letting it drive the day. The first step is to notice our state. Before class, take one slow breath and ask, who am I as a teacher today and what matters most in this hour? This small check-in brings our true self into the room. Palmer says, integrity is alignment. The subject we love, the students we serve, and the person we are should not be at war with each other. When those parts line up, even roughly, energy returns. The class feels more alive. The silence before a hard question feels warm, not cold. Students can sense this. They lean in. They trust the space. This chapter invites a gentle honesty. We can teach well even when we are imperfect, as long as we show up real with care for the subject and care for the people. This chapter also gives a kind view of fear. Many teachers fear losing control, being judged, or not knowing an answer. Palmer does not shame fear, he asks us to name it and hold it. When a tough question comes, a teacher can say, let's slow down, I don't know yet, let's look together. That is not weakness. It is modeling how to learn. It shows students that truth matters more than ego. Chapter 2 moves from performance to presence. Performance asks, do I look smart? Am I covering everything? Presence asks, what does this room need right now? Presence is the teacher being fully here, listening, noticing the mood, slowing down when confusion rises, and welcoming real questions even if they are messy. How do we build presence? Start class with one sincere minute. Say the goal in plain words. Share briefly why it matters to you. Invite one honest question. During the lesson, watch faces and energy. If eyes glaze over, pause and ask a small question. Where did we lose the thread? If voices shrink, add a short think pair share. If a big emotion shows up, slow down and name the moment. This part is hard. Let's take a breath. Presence turns the classroom from a stage into a living space where people explore together. Students stop trying to look right and start trying to find what might be true. Presence also means giving up the need to have every answer. It is okay to say, I need a minute, or let's check that, or can someone restate the question? This keeps the subject honest and keeps the teacher human. Over time, presence builds trust. Trust builds courage. Courage builds learning. Chapter 3 puts the subject at the center. Palmer offers a picture, a circle of learners with the subject in the middle. The teacher is not the hero on a stage. The teacher is a guide inside the circle, helping everyone, including the teacher, stay in honest relationship with the subject. This image reduces pressure and deepens respect. Authority shifts from, because I said so, to because we can see and test this together. What does this look like in class? Ask clear, open questions that lead toward the heart of the topic. Name confusion without shame. Many people get stuck here. Let's slow down. Tie ideas to everyday life so students can feel why it matters. When the subject is the center, the class becomes a shared investigation. No one, not even the teacher, has to pretend to know everything. The room becomes a place where truth can grow. Centering the subject also honors the values inside each field. Science carries curiosity and humility. What is true and how do we know? History carries memory and empathy. Who were they, and what can we learn? Literature carries imagination and voice. What does it feel like to be someone else? Math carries clarity and structure. How do patterns make sense of the world? When we teach with these living values, lessons feel like doorways into a larger conversation, not checklists to finish. Chapter 4 builds a classroom that is both safe and brave. Safety means students can speak, guess, and disagree without fear of shame or sarcasm. Bravery means we do not hide from hard truths or honest differences. Set 2 or 3 simple norms for listening and speaking. For example, listen without interrupting, respond to ideas and not people, and ask sincere questions before judging. Use turn-taking structures so many voices can be heard, not just the loudest. Welcome short silences before big questions so people can think. Slow down when emotions rise so thinking can catch up. The room's shape also matters. Small circles make it easier to hear each other. Pairs or trios help quiet students warm up. Short journaling gives thoughts a chance to form. In a safe and brave room, students bring more of themselves to the work. They try ideas, revise beliefs, and learn to sit with discomfort without shutting down. That is how learning becomes growth. It is not only about getting answers, it is about becoming the kind of person who can seek truth with care. If this still sounds soft, try one small test tomorrow. Begin with that 1-minute presence. Plain goal, one reason it matters to you, and one honest question. Add a 30-second silence before the first big discussion. Watch the room. Presence changes the air. The pause gives courage. You may find the class goes deeper with less push. Chapter 5 works with fear, using circles and silence. Fear is part of teaching because teaching is live, shared, and uncertain. We fear losing control, being exposed by a tough question, or failing a student who needs more than we can give. Palmer suggests we borrow the spirit of circles of trust. These are small gatherings where people speak honestly without trying to fix each other. In class, we can use that spirit in simple ways: a 1-minute journaling pause before a big discussion, a quick pair share to help voices warm up, and a brief silence after someone shares something tender or complex. Silence is not empty time, it is a tool. It allows shy students to find words and bold students to reflect before speaking. It lowers heat and raises clarity. A 30-second pause can turn noise into meaning. A 1-minute write can turn a vague thought into a true question. These tiny practices help both teacher and students hold fear with care instead of letting it run the room. Honesty about limits also reduces fear. A teacher can say, "We cannot fix everything today, but we can tell the truth about what we see," or "We will not all agree, but we can listen well." Or, "This is a painful chapter, we will go slowly and kindly." Such sentences give the room a stable floor. They make courage possible without pretending pain is not real. Chapter 6 meets burnout with renewal and a small weekly practice. Burnout often comes from misalignment, our values, our subject, and our daily schedule pulling in different directions for too long. We love depth, but the day is all rush. We care about students, but the system rewards speed over truth. We want presence, but the culture asks for performance. Renewal starts where love and honesty meet. We cannot fix everything around us, but we can make a few anchors inside our day. Open a lesson with a true story that still moves you. It brings heart into the room. Ask one question you genuinely care about, not just one that leads to a known answer. End with a 1-minute reflection so students can name what changed for them today. Protect simple boundaries. Plan with breathing room. Agree with colleagues on shared norms to reduce constant interruptions, and guard a small weekly time for rest or reflection so your inner life can breathe. Here is a weekly practice that is small and strong. Before the week starts, write one sentence. What kind of room do I want to create? Keep it simple. Calm and curious, kind and honest, steady and brave. After each class, write 2 lines. Where did the room feel alive? And where did it tighten? Then change one small thing next time. A clearer example, a slower pace at a tricky step, a different seating shape, 1 more minute of silence, or 1 stronger follow-up question. Small and steady changes rebuild trust in yourself and in the work. This chapter also touches staff culture. Share the presence minute with a colleague. Try a short teacher circle once a week where 2 or 3 teachers name a small win and 1 small worry without trying to fix each other. This simple support reduces isolation. It reminds everyone that teaching is human work, not just task work. The courage to teach invites us to bring our whole selves to the classroom and to let the classroom shape us back. Teach from who you are, move from performance to presence, put the subject at the center, build spaces that are safe and brave, work with fear using circles and silence. Meet burnout with small anchors of love and honest practice. When we teach this way, students don't just pass tests. They grow as people who can think, care, and stay with hard things. And we grow too. That is the quiet courage of teaching. If this gave you one idea to try, tap like as a quiet yes. And subscribe if you want a calm corner each week to think about teaching with us. Share this with a colleague who could use a little courage today. Tomorrow, start with 1 presence minute and 1 short pause. Let's build better rooms gently.